Morning, everybody. Let's start this meeting this morning, Brewster County Commissioners Court meeting on August 11th, 2026. Let's all rise for the invocation and the pledge, please. Let us pray. Heavenly Father, we thank you for all your blessings, Lord. We ask for strength and wisdom as we go about the business of the county in the interest of the taxpayers of Brewster County. Lord, we thank you for the rain that you've recently given us. We ask all these things in Jesus' name. Amen.
Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America, to the republic which stands one nation under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Honor the text flag. I pledge allegiance to the state of Texas, one state under God, one and indivisible.
All right, good morning, everybody. Let's start this off this morning with some, I notice we've got some public comments. Just in the interest of time, we're going to limit the comments this morning to just 5 minutes per comment eater or whatever the word is. And we welcome you to come up. Jan, where are you? You're first. I randomly drew that, but your name just appeared to the front.
Thank you.
Yeah, just please identify yourself for the record.
I am Janet Moeller and I live in precinct 4. I wanted to talk to you today. Good morning to all of you. I'm here today to address the condition and maintenance of the roads in Veterans Edition Double Diamond area and to ask that my concerns and the county's response be made part of the official record. The current road conditions, it's been approximately 1 year since our roads were last maintained or graded. One section of High Vista Road has not been graded or maintained for more than 2 years. Much of our roadway has deteriorated to the point that it is effectively a single lane road. When 2 vehicles meet, one vehicle must pull over onto the berm to allow the other to pass. Road maintenance appears to require a phone call or text to our commissioner before our area is placed on the maintenance schedule. My concern is not simply that the roads need attention. My concern is that there appears to be no reliable maintenance schedule or follow through. Over the past several years, I have received verbal assurances about plans and schedules for maintaining our roads. I appreciate those responses, but many of those plans have not yet happened. I could go back for more than 4 years and identify plans or commitments that, to my knowledge, still have not been completed. I respectfully ask the Commissioners Court for 3 things. Please acknowledge the current conditions of the roads in Veterans Edition Double Diamond. Please provide a specific plan and time frame for bringing these roads back to a safe and maintainable condition. Please make today's concerns and the county's response part of the official record. I am not here to criticize any individual. I'm asking for accountability, communication, and follow through. I know that there are limitations involving equipment, personnel, funding, weather, or scheduling. I would appreciate having these issues stated clearly for the record and one of us in this subdivision notified when this involves a maintenance scheduling change. Communication is very important to prevent misunderstandings between our subdivision and you. Mr. Murphy may be a valuable contact since he knows most of the community's contact information. Most importantly, I would like to leave today knowing what the county intends to do, when it intends to do it, and how we can expect this area to be maintained going forward. Thank you for your time and allowing me to address the court. Thank you.
Thank you, Jan. All right, Jay.
Morning, my name is Blue Jay Murphy. I live in Double Diamond Veterans. One of you won't recognize me. I shaved my beard off. I'm here because number one, I'm the second longest resident out there. Joel Nelson's the only one that's been here a year longer than me. The Morrows had somebody living out there for a long time before me. When I came to Texas, I bought that property in '96 from another man that had bought it and became fast friends with Mr. Merriweather. Mr. Merriweather and Double Diamond Inc. was responsible for the roads maintenance. And a man by the name of Johnny White did all the maintenance work out there and did a beautiful job. He did not push big windrows over to the sides. When I first got out there, 2 semis could pass each other in front of my house. Now I have 4 windrows in front of my house, some of them over 1.5 feet tall. It makes it impossible to mow with the big fires that we may have this year, because we've actually had some vegetation come up this year, including a lot of weeds. I noticed Lomo del Norte got mowed last week or the week before last by the county up to the property lines. You couldn't do that at our place. You can't get a brush hog in it. The windrows are up so high. Well, let me start. When I moved out there, there was no windrows. There were little rock piles on each side, way over. There were almost 40 feet from one side of the road to the other. Mr. Merriweather and Double Diamond petitioned the court, I can't remember the year, to take over the roads, which they did. Since then, they've done is plow the road and make bigger windrows. I put down over $4,000 worth of caliche between '99 and 2003. The road, Circle Drive, was very nice at that time. We had a lot of dirt on top of the roads, and so when it rained, that's why I put it down. It got really muddy out there. Since then, they just pushed it off. If you look at those windrows, the one out furthest from the center of the road is full of caliche. Next one's a little less. Next one's a little less. Next one, there's none, because all they've done is dig down the center. They did come out, it's been less than a year ago. Johnny had them come out there. They actually cut some divots and stuff for the roads to come off, to help drain the roads. And right after that, we finally got some rain and stuff. We've got washouts out there on the road. They're over 18 inches wide. Some of them are 1.5 feet deep. My wife will not ride her motorcycle out because I caught her riding out when she got to town. She had a slit in the side of her tire from where the rock had cut through it. So that had to be replaced. We've had a car have one. I have a friend that came out in a dually. They got a big rock stuck between the tires that blew out when they got to the Border Patrol checkpoint. It's a big problem, and we're not blaming anybody. Johnny just came on board here like a year or so ago from the state. The people that were there before it, they just plowed it and pushed it to the side. Never brought it back to the center. Jan Mowers put in a big drainage pipe. There's a under spring there, and it catches all the water because it's a very treacherous area in there. She put a big drain pipe with 2 feet of dirt on top of it. That was fine until the county took over. Then they started dragging it off. And 2 years ago, they crushed the pipe all the way down because they'd taken so much dirt off it. And they crushed both ends down. It's a health problem because this year that water was over 4 feet deep. And you couldn't walk down there with mosquitoes not getting you. Coming in off of Circle Drive and coming in from the west to the Muller's house, the road's washed out, and the weeds in the center of the road are over the top of my wife's hood on her car, so you can't see anything when you drive down there. That's about all I got. Oh, another thing that the fire department has approved a dry plug to be put out there. They say it's going to be put in September. And if y'all get out there before then to maintain, I've donated the corner of my property for them to put it right there. So you might want to flatten that out for them or whatever they do. And then we'd like those windrows gone, so maybe we could get some of that county out there to mow some of those parts that are actually owned by the county. Thank you a lot.
All right, thank you, Mr. Murphy. Appreciate it. Mr. Johnson, you want to talk this morning?
Good morning. My name is Robert Johnson, and I'm just here to also back up the road conditions in our Veterans Double Diamond Edition. The last time we had the big rain, I literally could not get up the big hill without putting it into four-wheel drive. It is so muddy and they're right. It's one lane wide and I'm having to weave back and forth across the ruts. It's gotten to where it's down to bedrock now. So, yeah, there needs to be some base brought in and packed in and done correctly to get it up to par. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Mr. Johnson. Mr. Seaman? What?
My name is Bill Seaman. I live at 101 Skyline Drive. I'm here to support the neighborhood and try to get something resolved here and some regular maintenance to the road done. And I also want to speak specifically to Skyline. On Circle and on High Vista, there are two ways in and two ways out when the roads are properly maintained. But for Skyline itself, there's only one road in, and that's the one road out. So my concern, I share the concerns that my neighbors have, but I also see this as a safety issue for us too. If we were to have bad weather, a storm, or someone were to be ill, it could be difficult to service our neighborhood the way it needs to be taken care of. So, and like the others have spoken, we're not here, or I'm not here to cast blame. I just, I would like to see some regular maintenance done on the roads, a schedule, so that we know that, we're taken care of. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. Appreciate it. Mr. Trapp? Oh. Larry. Larry? Okay.
Get up there. I'm Larry Durgott. I live down at Terminal Ranch and I'm here to address the roads too. Sounds like that other people have a lot worse problems than we do. But however, Terminal Ranch Road is paved at the current time. But over the years, when they paved the road, they pushed windrows of dirt up on the side about 6 feet away from the road. And over the years, all that dirt is washed in, filled the ditches up. And now the pavement is the lowest part. So when it rains, all the water runs down the pavement instead of down burr ditches. And when it does, if any crack in the road or on the edges of the pavement, it soaks under and the road base gets soft and causes potholes, and the sides of the roads are starting to break off and fall off. And for several years, I've been asking, well, I talked to Ruben about it, about getting the ditches cleaned out. Told him, oh, just take a maintainer in there and cut those ditches out with the water run off by the road instead of on the road. And it's going to save the county a whole lot of money in the long run instead of just letting it, because it's just going to continue to get worse and worse and deteriorate. And, I just think that, like some of the other people were saying, the way they bladed the material off the road, I'm not a contractor, but I ranched all over West Texas, had my own maintainers and stuff, and I do know how to maintain a road. And you've got to keep the road higher than the surrounding area. And I'm not pointing any fingers because I don't know any of them, but I know the guys that run the maintainers, they need to be schooled, somebody needs to teach them how to run a maintainer and do it right. They just go out there and they just flat blade stuff apparently. And, and just like out there, they sent a guy out about a year ago to, somebody did come out there to cut the ditches out, but whoever was on the maintainer, he cut a little trench about 6 inches deep and a foot wide, about 2 inches off the edge of the pavement instead of out there away from the road. And then people complain because whenever you met somebody, if you went off the road, you fell in that hole. So Ruben had to get them to go out there and fill that up. But they could, set the blade and make just a gradual grade away from the center of the road, just like on these other people's roads that they're talking about. They said, they started out with a good road and apparently they've just kept flat blading it and just took all the material off of the road instead of putting material back on the road. And, I think y'all, I don't know if there's any place y'all can send your, operators to, but they need to go somewhere and learn how to run the equipment that they're on. There's some of them like the loader operator, I've seen, where they've done stuff with the front loader that, the work looked real good, but the guys on the maintainers, they just don't know what they're doing. They need to be educated. So have somebody that knows how to run one correctly, show them what, because if nobody shows them what to do, they'll never know what to do. And if one guy does it, and you get a new guy and he shows that guy, they're just gonna keep making the same mistakes over and over again. But that was my concern, that I think y'all's operators need to be educated on how to run equipment correctly and how to build a proper road instead of just flat blading it and blade all the material off to the side of the road like the other gentleman was saying. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. Appreciate it. All right. No further public comments. I will say, just generally speaking, since it's not specifically on the agenda, we won't go into great detail, but we have heard your concerns and we appreciate your time coming in out of your busy day to come tell us this information, and we will take a look at it. Okay? Thank you very much. All right, our next item on the agenda is the public hearing.
You might tell them that we're going out to
Yeah.
veterans
I think they're going out there after the meeting.
today.
So,
We have many problems out there with structures on it. That are good taxpayers. Well, may not meet the codes, but it's is the country, it is nature. And we're not pointing fingers at anybody. It's just, we use land.
no, we hear you. Thank you we appreciate your comments. We really do. All right, number 5 is a public hearing. This is a short public hearing regarding Brewster County Clerk's preservation and restoration of county archives. Under the statutes, the local government code 118.025, the court must consider the ability to charge a $10 fee for recording documents, which goes into a archive and record preservation fund. They've done this in the past, but this is something we need to update and pass a resolution to authorize that archive process and that archive fee. Archives is a big part of what we do, and so we'll make sure we keep that.
That mean the cost of filing will go up, or is it the same?
You want to elaborate on that, Sarah?
And is this part of the basement archiving thing there underneath the old courthouse?
Well, yes.
Yeah.
Sort of.
Falls under that.
She's got archives down there. Let's put it that way.
She's got.
Yes, okay, so this public hearing, it hasn't been done, it's supposed to be done every year. The archive fee is an addition to the preservation fee to help clerks continue to keep the integrity of all the records. The public hearing hasn't been brought to court, not that I know of, when it was supposed to have been done. We finally got our line items corrected, everything's taken care of. We're actually now just following statute to present it to the constituents. The fee's already been there. It's been there. It wasn't approved, but now it's officially getting Commissioner Court approved. So that's why we're having the hearing today. But the fee doesn't change. It was already incorporated. It's been incorporated. It's just getting statute right, correct.
Yeah, and this is to save our 100+ years of records, which I'm sure everyone can agree is an important thing we should be doing.
Yes.
Yeah, this was kind of a ready, fire, aim, and we're gonna get it back to.
Yeah.
Okay. All right, so this is public comment period. Does anybody have any public comments about the archive fees? All right. there are no public comments, we'll close the public hearing in number 5 and open up to number 6 under the county clerk. We will now can review, discuss, and take action to approve the 27 archive fee plan, which is outlined in your packet. Any thoughts? Entertain a motion.
Move.
Okay. Motion to accept the 27 archive fee plan. Second by Mr. Morrow. Discussion. Okay, pretty straightforward. We'll formalize something we've already done. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Okay, very good. Thank you. Sarah, I've got, if you need me to sign the order, after the meeting, I can. All right, number 7, review, discuss, and take action to approve the minutes of July 28th.
Item in order, move to approve.
Second.
Motion and a second to approve the minutes of 28th July. Discussion. All right, no further discussion. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Number 8, recognitions and announcements. Mr. Westerman, you got anything down there?
It's all looking good. We're holding firm.
Okay. Let me guess what's going on in Terlingua.
Yeah, I think you know.
Okay. We did have a town hall meeting yesterday with the folks in Terlingua, and I think it went very well. Everybody got a chance. People are mad, frustrated, irritated about what's happening, obviously, in our national park and in South County. And I don't blame them. I'm pretty much feel the same way they do. But it was a good meeting. I think everybody got to vent their spleen, so to speak. And but it was some good information, and I think people are doing the right thing. I think, knock on wood, people have been. I told them last night, I said, don't put me in an awkward position to have to be the judge on your misdemeanor trial. So maybe that got through. I don't know. Ruben, you got anything?
No, sir.
Wow.
2 things, reminder that school's open. Slow down, cause I know crazy people drive sometimes without them. Slow down in the school zones. Also, since we met last, there's been 4 airdrops of screwworm flies in Brewster County, and today there's one on the eastern side of Presidio County. So hopefully that will help stop that.
Good.
Scourge.
All right. Thank
Can
you.
you change the judgment?
Yeah, I can do that.
All right, nothing further on number 8. Number 9, report from the city of Alpine. Mr. Stevens.
Hey, Judge, good morning, everyone. Give you a quick rundown on our August 4th meeting, which we had last week. Our big focus, like y'all, was working budgets. And I expect our budget's going to be in the neighborhood of $15.5 to $16 million. It's down from this current year by about $1 million, which in my mind is good from a fiscal perspective. Just to give you some of the highlights from that, we're looking at 3% COLA for our employees. Our benefits will remain the same. And I know you all have been working benefits, and I know there's always a discussion back and forth about that. Our paving plan for this year expects to be about 50 city blocks. And as Judge and I are talking before the meeting, we are using the zipper. I'm going to talk to our city manager about, doing a demo with y'all for potentially using the zipper and maybe use it over at the jail parking lot and see if we can work together on that, because the partnership, I think, is helpful. We're not using it all the time, so there may be an opportunity to work that. One of the things we've been talking about is economic development. The city did a study in 2016. When I was in council then, I shared it with all the city council members. We had a good discussion about that at the last city council meeting. Do expect we're going to try and put a budget in for economic development, but we know we have lots of work to do there. So I think that dialogue's still open. Look forward to continue that discussion. Relative to fire department budget, I emphasize the importance of matching what the county's putting in at $70,000, not $60,000, which was this last year. I expect we'll see that in the budget. And from a tax revenue standpoint, I expect we'll be at no new tax revenue rates. That'll be our discussion coming up for city council. So those are the big items from council meeting. I think the last item of importance is Our plan is to extend pool hours. We're working our last budget discussion, beyond where we're at right now. We got a pool that's working, people are using it. So we got to make sure we got lifeguards on board and make sure as the kids are going back to school, we got to get some more lifeguards trained because those who were the lifeguards are now in school, so we're kind of stuck there. So working that, I expect that'll come up this next Tuesday in city council meeting to move forward on that. We know that water's been the big issue. We went into, after that council meeting, went into a drought 4 condition. The Mooskies well booster pump went down, which caused an issue. Good news is last night in the late evening hours, 2 important things happened. One is we got what we call the $1 million pump up and running for the first time effectively when it was put in over 15 years ago, long before I showed up in Alpine. We're now pumping 400 gallons of water out of Lower Hill into Upper Hill. That feeds the west side of town, which I think is really good news. So we stopped the water last night. We know we put out a water boil advisory out last night as well. We expect we'll have testing done today and should be able to get that resolved. The other is the booster pump for Mooskies well that went down. We have the pump in. We expect we'll have that installed today. So the good news is we should be back to a regular stage 1 condition on water because we have enough water. We're able to move between the east side where we got water over the west side where we didn't have water. And then the last that I'm working on is getting Roberts 3 up and running. We know the pilot hole was down about 700 feet. So that's the good news. Now we got to dig the main well and get that pump down and get it working. So I think we're beginning to see the end of the light at the end of the tunnel. We don't think it's a train, but we know we have lots more work to work on. I think the other things we're looking at going forward, we know water is critically important to us. Our teams have been out fixing water leaks. We had 3 of them yesterday, which was not a happy circumstance. But we do plan to put on our budget automatic meters for all of the 2,500 meters we have for water. That'll go on the budget, and as well as the for the gas. And we'll probably do that later this next fiscal year because we've got to get that integrated with our utility billing system as well. So we've been working that. So I think we're heading in the right direction. I think we're blessed to have a really strong city manager in terms of Henry to be able to work, Arredondo to be able to work in terms of what's going on. But that's kind of where we're at. That's a quick update. Questions for me?
Is the leak west of town fixed?
That was the one, yeah, yesterday. They're working on it, yeah, yesterday. And I believe it's fixed. I was heading out there yesterday when and then saw someone ran into the doggone bridge, so I didn't get out there. But I'll swing over there today, make sure, but I believe it's fixed. Yeah.
And let's say your crew got the leak on the west side fixed pretty quickly.
Yeah, they've been moving along pretty well.
Say they're getting good at it, but yeah.
Yeah, well,
you practice.
I think, part of it is make sure we got the right staff in place and we're not having to spend time on reading water meters. But yeah, the crew is working well. Mike Macias is doing a good job. And we've got Randy Guzman, who leads our gas department, has been helping out as well with processes to be able to enable Mike and his team to be more efficient. But they're working their tail on off.
Cool.
Anything else?
Mr. Stevens?
And I'll follow up to make sure, just to work that. Okay, thank you.
Thank you, sir. Appreciate it. All right, number 10, presentation from the Sunshine House this morning.
Morning, everyone. My name is Ivana Diaz, and I am serving as the new executive director of Sunshine House. Our mission is simple at Sunshine House, but it's a powerful one. We provide quality nourishment and social enrichment to seniors, homebound individuals, and people with disabilities in our community, as well as in Marathon. Our vision is to battle food insecurity, and that mission is needed now more than ever. Every day, we provide approximately 300 meals to Alpine Marathon residents, including meals delivered through the Meals on Wheels program and as a congregate at the Sunshine House. These meals represent more than just food. They represent a knock on someone's door, a familiar face, a conversation, and the reassurance that somebody in the community cares. Our social programs are just as important. Through exercise, fitness activities, games, arts and crafts, and other celebrations and opportunities, these provide a safe place for a community to gather and opportunity to belong. We are also entering a super exciting chapter. As some of you have seen, we have a renovation and expansion going on with the purchase of the old Crystal Bar. And this will allow us to extend the congregate section so that we can allow more seating and therefore serve more meals to the community. With the move of our office spaces and the event center opening next door at the old Crystal Bar, we'll be able to serve the community as an emergency or warming center as well. And that brings me to our need for the resolution to apply again for the Texas Department of Agricultural grant for Texas Feeding Texans. As you know, we received this grant last year and the funds were useful to continue feeding and serving the community. So we are asking that this resolution is signed and proposing to extend that into 2027.
Okay. Do you have that with you?
I sent it to the
Up to Jenny?
clerk. Yes.
Okay, all right. I've got a little bit of a dilemma here. We show this just as a presentation and not an action item. But what we'll do is we'll get it signed for you and then we'll ratify it at the next meeting.
Great.
Okay.
Thank you so much.
So, I mean, this court has had a long-standing support of the Sunshine House and the good work that y'all do. So keep it up.
We appreciate it. Thank you.
Thank you. All right, number 11, county judge items. Let me rip through a few things. Item A, review, discuss, and take action to approve a donation of labor services. So we had asked Arrowhead, for those of you, we've been doing some work out here on the courthouse lawn. We had that old well that was drilled way back in the 1800s that waters the courthouse lawn. And we had a fence around it. We took it down and we had pipes sticking up everywhere. And Arrowhead came out and we hired them to clean up the wellhead, put in a new pump. The pump was fine, but put a stronger pump so we get better water at the yard. So that went really well and it's done now. When I got the invoice, Arrowhead donated their labor to the cause, $2,030. So I wanted to first, I needed approval to accept that donation of the labor. Secondly, to thank them very much for the work that they did and donating their labor. So I've got a motion to accept the donation of labor. Second discussion.
What is I see the static level and all that, what is it? It says 10 gallons a minute.
Yeah.
Is that what we want?
It's just our yard. It's just watering the
Okay.
yard.
All right, just check it.
Yeah.
Okay.
And you're saying it's 22 feet?
Yeah.
Static level.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's-
It's not, it's a good little producing well.
Yeah.
City wish they had that.
Maybe that's why the.
All right, I've got a motion and a second to approve the donation of the labor services. All in favor, say aye. Aye. All right, item B, 11B, review, discuss action regarding Brewster County policy on charging for PIA or public information request. This is just a refresher. Everybody's aware that the public can ask for any kind of information to any government entity. And there is a policy outlined by the Attorney General on how quickly that's done. This last year, we sort of organized that. Everything flows through the website. My office is, I'm the central public information officer. So you fill out a form, it comes to my office, and then we push it out to all the departments to make sure we're complying with the 10-day rule that's required. But one of the things that's happening, and I don't know if you guys are seeing at the city, is these AIs are scraping a lot of data. And so we're getting buried in requests for information. And you can't ask them why they want it. You can ask them to clarify. You can't say, why do you want the information? So we just had one recently in the finance office that wanted 10 years worth of accounting data. You know, and so what I want to reiterate is we can charge for that service. The Attorney General outlines those fees. And just wanted the court to know, I don't know that we can pass a resolution to follow those fees. The Attorney General sets what those fees can be, but it can be an hourly rate for labor, it can be an overhead rate of, I think, 20% on top of that.
$15 an hour for labor, excuse me, and then 20% for an administrative overhead fee. And then you can also charge a fee per page for a paper request, but most of them are asking for electronic records, so that's not applicable.
So basically, I just want to reinforce the report. We're gonna make sure everybody's aware of this, that I hate to say this, but I'm afraid we've been giving it away, costing a lot of time of our employees to process this data. And when we have the right to charge something for that, at least get our costs back. And some of them just take a tremendous amount of time.
Yeah.
So I entertain a motion to adopt and follow the Attorney General's policy on charges.
So moved.
Second.
Motion is second, discussion. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
All right, item C, review, discuss, and take action to approve the school resource officer. This is the agreement between the sheriff's office and the school resource officer program, where the sheriff provides security for all of the schools. This is their annual contract. It'll be up for some renegotiating next year in 27. This is for 27. We'll renegotiate it in 27 for the 28 contract.
So moved.
Second.
Motion is second, discussion. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
All right, item D is in Delta, review, discuss the renewal agreement. So you guys are aware, we have an agreement with the United States Army to provide a little space for them at the fire station for their sick bed. That's been going very well. They pay us $500 a month. And they keep the station clean for us, or they're supposed to, right? And so I just need approval to ratify that agreement.
So moved.
Motion is second. All right, discussion. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
If you've ever dealt with the United States Army and their procurement system, you pretty much have to have a degree in, I don't know, about 8 degrees to figure out how to run it, right, Julie? It's very complicated. For $500 a month, I think we probably spend 1,000 trying to figure out how to run their system. All right, lastly but not least, 11E, presentation of our forward electrical budget. This is no action here. I just wanted you guys to be aware. If y'all remember, we did a forward agreement on power for 3 years. This is just the budget that they sent me for the next couple of years. Our kilowatt rate is locked in at a nickel a kilowatt hour. And we're locked in for the next 3 years. So it just gives you a sort of a projection of what our utility costs are going to be running over the next 3 years. And that's around $80,000 a year for electricity. So no action there. Just wanted y'all to be aware of it. All right, item number 12, road and bridge.
Good morning, everybody. Well, as y'all know, we've had some real good rains down south. And kind of tore up a lot of our roads, but we're working on them one at a time. We're trying to get them passable for the people that get into town. We are, right now, we're pretty well caught up with South County. That was one of our worst ones, and then North County. We need to go back and haul some material to fill in some of the washouts that are left. That's on our agenda. Also, we got a call from Miss Linda Shark at Torres Mesa. And I sent a couple of guys out there to look at it, and then they went back with the blade, took care of that. And then we got a thank you note for the guys going out to work on that one. Also, I got a message from 325-234-8938. I mean, 8933, excuse me, in regards to addressing the South County Road. They're also thanking us for taking care of that. We're still hauling trash from the Terlingo yard to the landfill. Leftovers from dump day. We still have quite a bit left, probably about half a pile left. Tres Pesetas with the tires. They have hauled off 3 loads of the 53-foot reefer trailer. And there's still probably 4 loads left. They're coming back for one load. One extra, or the one load on this week on Thursday. And then we're gonna have to look and see if we need to adjust the contract money or hold off for what we're gonna do.
Yeah.
And also I ordered a load of MS2 oil. We started doing a couple of streets in Marathon. One of them was in the east side of the school building and the other one on the south side. And we're trying to get together to see where else we need to work on. There's no permits request at this time.
I went by there last night and you've got a big pile of millings out there in the front of your yard. Where are those going? Where are those millings going?
They're going to that fire that you guys are building over.
No, this is the one, this is the yard in Berlingua. You've got a huge pile of millings in the Berlingua yard.
They're going to Fulcher.
Okay, I thought we were storing them over your land.
No,
Those just started taking some art.
that pile was moved in when we started moving from Marfa to the Alpine yard. And then we got pretty well caught up with that and I started sending them over there so we could get ready for Fulcher.
All right, so, but they're all eventually gonna get all moved to Fulcher.
Yes, sir.
Okay.
Eventually.
And the other question is, the answer is I wanna get all the tires and all the junk off that yard.
Okay.
So we'll figure out the money. Somehow, some way.
And they've been real lenient. They've been real, I mean, they don't. When they come in about 9 o'clock, there's 3 gentlemen. And by 2:30 or 3 o'clock, they've got that thing loaded and headed toward all past that. And they pack it really, really good.
That's a 53-foot.
53-foot reefer trailer.
And they load it by hand, right? They load it by hand?
Yes.
Wow. And you think they've got 3 or 4 more of those?
Well, I know they got the come, yes, because they're coming back Thursday for one. So
The
that's
last one on the PO.
But we still, if we do that one, we still have a couple more.
about 3 more, yes, sir.
Yeah.
Maybe a little more, I don't know, but
We must have collected every tire in Texas.
we did.
Well, we didn't get to the next one.
Yeah, I can tell.
They've been there left over from the previous dump day.
Okay, well, we're gonna get rid of them, so we'll figure it out. We'll figure it out. How to pay for that. And then the metal, who's hauling the metal, us or Carlos or?
Well, I don't know. Carlos said he was coming out to get it, but he hadn't touched it. I've been calling the people from El Paso and they talked to Ruben, they're coming and they're not, so I call them, they.
Waiting for the sheriff to take a day off so they.
Yeah, they gotta dodge all the wall.
Yes.
Okay, all right, very good.
Is the maintainer or the grader in Veterans Edition still needing service?
No.
No?
No, it's working.
Okay.
We had to have an emergency call I had to call Warren Cat to come in.
Mhm.
Cause the operator was running it and it just shut down.
Yeah.
It was a computer issue. So it's fixed.
It's up and running?
Mhm.
All right, good.
All right, anything else for Johnny? Okay, thank you, sir. Emergency management?
Morning. Just a couple updates, screwworm. We went down to the rodeo this weekend and inspected horses for everybody leaving town, no cases, so that's good. And put out a bunch of permits for the time being for out of here.
What about the cattle?
They didn't leave the county, so they stayed there. So anything within the county or anything that was within the county, that was leaving the county had to be inspected. So everything that stayed here is, as far as we know, good.
So there's been no real restriction on moving them other than inspecting them?
Correct. Water, I talked to John, or sorry, Mike, this morning before I came over here because Tatum was blowing me up about what's going on. They sent down a sample to Odessa to get tested through TCEQ. We should get a sample back with the the clearance, hopefully within 24 hours. So at 2 o'clock tomorrow. In the meantime, the fire department does have 4 more pallets of water that they're giving out. So if anybody needs water, they can come get up to 3 to 4 cases of water.
Beer water.
And as your
The school, we're all right.
Did y'all see that yesterday? We sent to school, I don't know, 5 cases of pallets of water, and it's made by Anheuser-Busch. It's water, but it looks like a beer, it's a beer can. With Anheuser-Busch.
It's one way to promote water drinking for kids. I mean,
But it works.
it works. It works.
Okay.
So that's basically what we got going on. The burn ban is back into effect because the other one ran out, which is good, perfect timing because we just had a fire on North 67, which took up both sides of the road and burned and accumulated about 2 acres on both sides of the road. We're able to get out there and put it out pretty quick, but it was burning really fast. So everybody be careful, be safe, pick up your chains. So.
Okay, thank you, sir.
Any other questions about what's going on?
Good. All right, 14, Treasurer's Office. Julie got that?
I don't have anything
Nothing
today.
this time? Okay. All right, let's do 15, Brewster County Comptroller. Invoices with purchase orders.
Invoices with purchase orders labeled as the receipt register. Which they would change that. Right, receipt the money. I'll hand this one over so you need to. Okay, there was nothing unusual in the receipt register. We have a total of 48,242.47 on that. So I guess, does anybody have any questions about anything? And these are the payables that purchase orders had already been approved for.
No, I'm gonna try something new today. Let's do all the reports and we'll approve them in one lump sum. I'm gonna try that. Let's do them without purchase orders.
Okay, payments without purchase orders is the payable register. Again, there's nothing unusual in there. There are a couple items that you've noticed, they've got little highlights that say, yes, they're on hold. That's just waiting for some line item adjustments that I have in another packet. Total on that, 4638.87. Kind of a small packet on that one today. We have any questions on those?
The Warren Cat invoice for $4,600.
We got it this morning.
Yeah, well, it's on your list here.
Yeah.
What was that for?
That was
Urgency.
That was the one that got hung up on Hackberry.
4638.87.
What was it, Johnny? What one did that be?
it's like a relay. It's like a relay that runs everything and it just shorted out. But he had to take parts and parts off of it to get to it.
And I apologize, I misread the total on that packet is 53,714.19. And the other thing, just FYI on the Warren Cat, Johnny, when they came down, even though it was a warranty repair, they charged mileage and it was, if I remember, it was about $135
A mile.
per mile. It was right at $1,000.
On which?
On the Warren Cat, on the repair on the maintainer. Because they had a mileage fee and they had a remote service fee and some others that it wasn't actual hands-on work. It was just a mileage for them to get down to it and get
But
back.
that 4,600 included that.
It included that, yes, sir. But it's just interesting that a big chunk of that was mileage.
Yeah, that's what gets us is the mileage. Because they charge, I think it's like three something a mile. Both ways.
Chunk.
Hey Mo, I got a kick out of the fact that we're paying the bill to the University of Texas. in Austin. And it's
Oh,
for,
Texas
and it's
A&M.
for a book called Best of Aggie Land. Okay, let's do,
Okay,
recurring.
recurring. One of the items that is in the recurring packet, these are the bills that were paid between commissioners' courts for ratification. There is one on page 3 for 29,362.50 for Public Management Inc. That was actually approved at the commissioners' court, submitted to TDA for payment, and now we're making the payment. We got those CDBG grant funds in. And the total in that packet is 86,275.74.
And we've already got the money in from,
We got the money
TDA.
in, and then we immediately wrote the check out so that we could get it paid within the 5-day time period.
okay, budget adjustments.
All right, budget adjustments. Most of these are just simple line item adjustments. The one that is an actual budget adjustment is the second one on page 1, and the amount is going to be $250,000. That is in tourism. And we had about $300,000 over budget on our revenue in tourism. So we are adjusting the budget to use that extra revenue for tourism educational purposes. So that is an actual budget adjustment. The others are line items. We've got one, the first one is just a cleanup on the budget where we changed the presentation of some line items in our financial presentations. The other one is just to cover for the guys that are getting their CDL, to move some things around to cover their travel. They had to pay out of pocket to go to Lubbock to take the CDL test. We've paid for one. There's another guy in the class right now. We're going to have to pay for that one. So I went ahead and included that in the current adjustment. We also had some, just a reclass between advertising and public relations, also in tourism. And then the last one is to use some unused but budgeted overtime out of the treasurer's office to cover the expense of paying an intern through the remainder of the fiscal year in the judge's office.
All right, any questions on that? I'd entertain a motion to accept the financials as presented. Second. Motion and a second to accept the financials as presented by the comptroller. Discussion? All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
All right, very good. Got anything else, Melinda?
Not much. We had the external auditors were out here last week, did the interim field work for the 26 audit, even though we're not through the end of the year. This is the first time they've been able to actually do real interim work. We have them scheduled to come back for 2 weeks in January, and they will finish the rest of the audit work then once we have final numbers for the year and everything is adjusted. But he said it looked good and did not have any issues on what they had seen so far.
Getting better every year.
Trying to.
Okay, thank you. Now, item 16, tourism. Robert's not here, is he?
See him.
Okay, we're blowing through the agenda. He's probably not expecting us to be here this fast. But let me skip from on 16 down to item C, the visitor center financing. I would like to table that until the 25th or maybe even after Labor Day. We've got some questions about that. And so we're just going to table that visitor center financing. This related to the borrowing of the money related to building to visitor center. While I have you on that topic, I just wanted to talk a little bit about given what we've got going on down in South County. I'd kind of like to get a read from the court whether we're not in a screaming hurry to begin with. We're still finishing up the closing and all the design and everything's good. My question to y'all is slow roll, speed as fast as we can, stall it. Where does everybody want to be on the marathon will proceed as planned.
Okay.
The question is in Terlingua. My reaction is that we remain positive. Tourism is an important part of our economy. We want people to come out here and see as I used to say, we like to perform a cachectomy on our tourists. And, you know, have them come out and visit, see our wonderful place, and then leave some money and go home. Perfect. So, and that's not being ugly, it's just the way it works. So my question to y'all is, you want me to continue to move along on the visitor center?
My main concern is whether or not prices will go up if we wait.
Either going up every day.
Every day.
Yeah, sure. Yeah. Yeah, and I don't know what interest rates are gonna do. Got my two brain trusts on interest rates, but I think they're not going down anytime soon. So, that's gonna affect our borrowing capacity. So, all right. What I'm hearing then is keep moving along.
Yeah.
Yeah, okay. All right.
Will the marathon, train station movement take place sometime soon, or?
Yeah, we're still finishing up that building next door.
Really emptied it out.
They got it emptied and we've got it waiting on a quote on those remediation of those gas tanks.
Oh, right.
Now, we can do it
Mhm.
without that.
Yeah.
But I'd really like to get that piece because it ties into some other things. And I just think owning the whole block up front is just better than. Plus, I couldn't control what would go next to the visitor center.
Mhm.
And I'd hate to have a visitor center and then somebody puts a tire barn there.
Yeah.
Right. So, anyway, we're working through that.
What about the abatement or the fuel tank?
I'm waiting on that quote. They came out and looked at it. It looks like a fairly simple job. They did ask Ruben if we'd be willing to fill the holes and haul off the concrete that's gonna have to. Sure. I told him I thought we could do that, save some money.
There was a question about what the progress was. There's apparently a great following of the people who started the movie Fandango, which was shot there at that gas station. And they were wondering,
The one next door.
right,
Yeah.
and they were wondering how the visitor center project was coming for this great reunion they're
Oh,
having.
not even close.
Right,
Yeah.
so, yeah.
Yeah, they'll have their reunion and maybe another one before we get.
Yeah.
The reunion's on Labor
Need
Day
a
weekend.
motion to table item 16.
I wouldn't mind that. I'd like a motion to table item 16C.
Second.
Motion is second, the table discussion, all in favor, say aye.
Aye.
All right, let's go to item 17 while we're waiting on Robert. Let's talk about the thing that everybody loves, and that's the budget for 2027. I've got these in sort of an order, so let's take tab number 1. You guys will please. Oh, by the way, just in your front packet, there is the copies of the tax notices that will go into the paper today for the hearing that we'll have on the 25th, along with the elected officials' salaries. All these are required postings. And there's a little article I found on roads I thought I might be interested in seeing. So that's just for y'all. All right. One of the things we've talked about in the past is proposed salary increases for our employees. And one of the things we talked about at the last meeting, we did put into the budget. If you guys remember, we did a 5% increase at the midpoint across that new salary schedule we approved. And so that we've held that constant, depending on where you are in the salary scale. Some may get on a percentage basis slightly more, some slightly less. But if you remember, we took the midpoint of the salary range, multiplied it by 5%, and everybody in that category got that same amount. So it sort of benefits the lower wage folks a little bit better than it does the higher wage folks, but everybody gets the same dollar amount. That has an impact of $204,335. That's all in for wages to our budget. If you go on to the next page, this is the salaried employees. Proposal last time was to the salaried employees will receive a $100 per paycheck or $2,600 raise. That has a $15,600 impact to the budget. That is in the budget. Okay. And then lastly, the elected officials, the proposed elected official increase was $2,000 per elected official. And that is an impact of $30,000 on the budget. And all of those are in our budget you're about to see. You want to go to the budget now, or do you want to do the wage approval first? Go to the budget then real quick, go to tab number 3. You go to tab number 3 and you go over to page. Let me just find it real quick. Go over to page 22. It's going to be up at the top. Page 22, you'll see the very last category is called 100-9099. So we the budget balanced. So we've got a balanced budget. We're taking 168,551 out of our LATCF fund, which is less than what we thought at the last meeting. We thought we were going to have to take out about 225. So we're only going to have to take out 168,551. If you guys remember, we talked about taking $1 million out of reserve and allocating that across road and bridge and other capital projects. The way the finance, Melinda's and Julie's always yell at me about it, but the way government accounting works is our budget is zero. So our expenses and revenues are zero. So we don't spend more money than we take in, which is what our goal is every year. And then we're going to take $1 million out of our savings and we're going to put it into a fund for us to spend on roads and other capital projects. Now, having said that, when you do that, you have to charge the $1 million to the income statement. So if you went to your savings account and took $1 million out of your savings account, you wouldn't charge it to your checking account. You just put it in your checking account. No, that's not how that works here. So it looks like, Kara, that we have $1 million deficit. We do not. But that's how it looks. So that's how that comes out. We were going to transfer $15,000 to refund the jail infrastructure. If you guys remember, we want to keep 100,000 in there at all times for jail infrastructure. It had drifted down to 85, so we'll put 15 back in there. And then we have to fund the road and bridge deficit and the courthouse security fund, leaving $885,000. We're going to put it all into a restricted fund, but it is allocated to road and bridge and to any other capital projects this court makes in 27. Yeah. So that takes us up to a balanced budget. All of the payroll is incorporated into this balanced budget. Here's some good news. If you go back to page 1, our revenue stream actually increased. I think at the last meeting, we thought we would have an ad valorem revenue of 5.1. We think we're going to come in more at 5.2, and that's based on a 94% collection rate. And this year we were collecting at about 96%. Still conservative, but reflects what we think will be our revenue line item next year. Other than that, nothing really changed. Revenue is the name of the game, and holding expenses is the other side of it. But I think we've got a pretty good budget here, all things considered. If you go to page, the tab number 2, you'll see how that breakout of that $1 million is going. So you'll see your deficit at the top, 168.51, which is being filled by the LATCF, and then the $1 million we've already talked about and how it's being broken out. My proposal is to put it into a restricted fund so that it sort of focuses and forces us to have a discussion about how to take it out of restricted fund and use it in ways that make sense for us for capital improvements for the county. All right, last but not least, how much does it cost us as taxpayers to fund the next year? So if you look at tab number 4, the calculation, our current tax rate, by the way, all in is 37 cents a hundred. We are proposing, so we will be using the voter approval rate, which is the middle line. Our tax rate is going to go up 0.009 cents. It's not going to go up very much. Tax rates will pretty much stay the same. So proposed is the voter approval rate at .379963 per $100 of value, which will raise about 5.8 million on the 94%. It'll actually collect 5.4 million. We've only budgeted 5.2, just to be conservative on the revenue side. And then if you want to break out that 0.379963, you can break it out by going to the lower boxes. 0.362732 is our M&O, maintenance and operation rate. And then we don't have much debt service. Our county just doesn't have a lot of debt, which is really good. Debt's good, but I like no debt. And so our voter approval rate on that is 0.017231. So if you add those together, you get the 0.379963 is the proposed rate for 27. And I'd entertain any questions. So what we'll do today is vote on these proposed rates. I will deliver the proposed budget to the county clerk on Thursday per statute, and then we will have our public hearing on the 25th, 2 weeks from today. And that rate in that budget will be set at that time. Although it's still open for discussion and still open for change if we need it.
Do y'all have any action on the taxpayer impact statement?
No, that's just a disclosure. I put it in there just to make the legislature happy. So the median taxpayer, if you took all of the properties in Brewster County, line them up from the lowest value, these are homestead properties, to the highest value, you pick the middle one. It's the median value. That particular homeowner, whoever that is, would see their taxes rise this year by $50. If you're above the median, you'll pay a little bit more. If you're above the median, pay a little bit less.
Are all of the protests completed?
I don't think they've all finished, but we built that into the model. They'll probably.
It's supposed to finish, but September 1.
They're getting close.
Nice.
And so the appraisal district comes back to us and says, here, based on the reviews that have been requested, the protests, we believe this will be the value. And that's what we would go on. And it's pretty accurate.
Mm-hmm.
Interesting to note that our taxable value adjusted for rolling stock, because we get some value from the railroad, this year was $1,532,841,000, which is about where it was last year. So I keep going back. Oh, you've heard me talk about economic growth and so critical. And what helped us this year is that we had about, you were 31 million in new property.
About that.
So we did have some growth. We lost some, but that $31 million in new growth really helped the rest of us. Otherwise, we're just all paying the same, more taxes every year. So I
Yeah.
like that.
Someone asked me recently about when to expect the next reassessment of their property. And I hope I got this right, but I explained that the appraisal district goes in different sections, rotating throughout the year. So I think there's 4. Yeah, so if you built something today, it might take up to 4 years for them to find it.
True. Questions about the budget?
Good job.
All right, if there's no questions, I'd like to vote on these individually, so I'll take a motion to accept the proposed wage and salary increases for 27.
Make a motion to accept the proposed wage and salary increase for 27.
All right, second.
I'll second.
All right, discussion. We'll do this individually on item 17B, proposed wages for 27. Mr. Westerman, how do you vote?
Aye.
Mr. Kalanda?
Aye.
Mr. Ortega? Mr. Morrow?
Aye.
And judge votes aye. Okay, that passes. 17C, I'll entertain a motion to establish the infrastructure fund with the $1 million not deficit savings money.
Well,
Thank you. All right, motion a second discussion. All right, Mr. Morrow.
Aye.
Ortega. Ms. Calondo.
Aye.
Mr. Judge votes aye. Okay. Item D, proposed 2027 Brewster County budget as presented. Entertain a motion.
So moved. Second.
Motion is second discussion. All right, Mr. Westerman.
Aye.
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 And Judge votes aye. All right. That passes. Item 17E, proposed 27 Brewster County tax rates.
So moved.
So moved and second. Second. Okay. Discussion. All right. No discussion. How would you vote, Mr. Martin?
Ice.
Aye.
Ice.
Aye.
And the judge votes aye as well. All right, all the proposed tax rates and budgets are approved to be presented to the county clerk on Friday. And for the public, that will be a hearing on the 25th of this month for you to come in and let us know what you think about the new tax rate and the budget. And on the 25th, we will pass that for fiscal year 27. Okay, thank y'all. Appreciate it. Thanks to the finance group too, by the way, Patty, Julie, Melinda, Isaiah, lots of screaming and yelling in the budget rooms. But thank y'all for a great job. That's now over with. We go scream about something else.
There's always something to us.
Okay, Robert didn't make it yet. Maybe I'm supposed to do that and I just didn't know it. Let's see. Let's go ahead and review that, approve that contract on 16B. Looks like he's got some shows in New York, Denver, and LA.
So moved.
Motion to approve the shows. Looking for a second.
Second.
Motion is second. Discussion. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Okay. All right, our next item action is number 18. This court's going to go into a closed meeting. I need to read why we're going into closed meeting. Section 551-071 of the Open Meetings Act, consultation with attorney. A governmental body may not conduct a private consultation with its attorney except when the government body seeks advice of its attorney about a pending or contemplated litigation or a settlement offer or on a matter which the duty of the attorney to the governmental body under the Texas disciplinary rules of professional conduct, the State Bar of Texas clearly conflicts with this chapter. One of more of those apply in this case. So this court will now adjourn or take a recess to go into closed meeting, and we'll be back shortly. Session at 11:36. And we are now in open session. There is no formal action to take in open session other than an announcement that, or is there action? Is this an action item?
I don't think so. Ask Ruben, he's smarter than me.
Not, we said this as an action item or not? We already got it. It's already in the. You mean money? Yeah. We've got, I mean, we did the line out adjustment on the money.
Yeah.
Do we need a? I think we can, okay, I know what to say. So after, basically, the court would like to, I think we all probably ought to pass a resolution to, the court would like to take a resolution to take the $250,000 that we allocated in the budget earlier today as a line item adjustment. And we will specifically use that. We don't have any specific ideas for it at this point, but we will make that money available for the preservation of our education. Preservation and education of our community, its economics and the tourism related to the tourism economy.
Right.
That's as crude as I can get it. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
I'd entertain a motion to do that. Someone,
Second.
that motion is second. Discussions. I think further court meetings will have more detail. All right, there's no other further discussion. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Okay. Ruby, why don't you talk me into running for this job? You need to put a date on that? Yeah. All right, there's no other action in open meeting.
Okay, I'm sorry.
I'm sorry.
Next meeting?
Next
We all
meeting.
have to be here, right?
25th, guys, I really need everybody here because we gotta have 4 of us at least to pass the tax, right? So that'll be the 25th here. There'll be 2 public hearings, one on the budget, one on the tax rate, and then our regular meeting. And we will be done, and yours truly will be rafting the Grand Canyon.
That sounds lovely.
Promoting their economy.
Promoting the Grand Canyon economy. If there's no further business, I would entertain a motion to.
Second.
Do we need to discuss it? All in favor of adjournment, say aye.
Aye.